Yeah, of course, you're still locked in at your Feel Good Breakfast show. And here's a fun fact. Now, Grant Hines, as you've just seen in the intro, he's not only a tech guru, but also has a background in animation, and he studied art direction too. Now, this morning on Tech Thursday, of course, he's going to be taking us through some of we'll call it a drawing technique session. And I'm so keen to hear and see all about what Grant has in store for us. And I'm here to learn as well. So, Grant, how are you doing this morning, man?
I'm great. I'm great. This is one of my favorite things. Okay?
This is cool. I had no idea.
Yeah, no one knows this about me, but this is like one of my favorite hobbies that I get to do at home.
So gaming and stuff's actually your career, and this is your passion.
So actually, funny story, how I got my first job was I studied for 3 years at a huge graphic design school, but on the way to school, I used to draw on a sketchbook on the train. And it just used to always be in my bag. Yeah. My first job interview after college, I took the train to that job interview. They looked through my whole portfolio. I actually worked really hard, at varsity. I won a Lurie at varsity. I was I'm going to be a creative director. Yeah. And they looked through my portfolio and they're like, where are your drawings? And then I was like, oh, they're in my bag. And I pulled up this little crummy sketchbook and I sat with the director and the head storyboard artist and they're like, you're hired. And it just goes to show that your passions, that was the first job that I got out of college. And I was like, oh, so the thing that you're passionate about can get you work. And that was illustration.
So take me into your world, man. So obviously you got some skills and there's technique behind this. You're not just drawing out of your head. And I'm watching you behind the scenes just before we came on live, and I'm seeing all these crazy circles and ratio things that you're doing. What's going on here?
So drawing is actually not that hard. A lot of people look at this and they'll go like, wow, that's wild. How did you do that?
Where do you even start? Yeah.
How do you even start? Drawing is actually just a series of few techniques that you do, and it's usually around shapes. When you're drawing people, you have to get your proportions right. So I've just done this very quickly. So everything on a human being is around your head. Yeah. So you just do the shape of your head will determine how wide your shoulders are apart. As you can see, your chest is generally like a head size over here.
Oh, I got you. See that? So this is like the golden ratios that you're applying to the body.
Yeah, exactly. So this will be, like a circle over your chest, and then you have 3. So obviously Da Vinci stuff is way more intense. That's what you're talking about, the golden ratio.
But with this being said, this is going to prevent me from trying to draw a beautiful picture of my mom and she ends up looking like SpongeBob.
Yes.
She'll actually be in proportion now.
Exactly. And then when you do shoulders, I'm doing somebody straight up here, but when you do shoulders, they always will be the other opposite direction to each other. So shoulders and hips will be like that. And then if I start, can you start seeing how I'm the person I'm making now is starting to come to have shape and form?
Yeah, I'm seeing the structure taking shape.
And then you kind of just carve your way through this individual. If you want to have different shapes for the different arms and the different, I'm doing a hand, quick. And then also hands, also like circles. And everything you draw, if you want to draw like a shark or a cat, it's all just shapes.
Yeah. So you've got the sort of the structure now. You've got that frame that you've designed.
Yeah.
What's the next step when it comes to drawing? Okay, cool. I've nailed it. I think this is how I want my outline to be. How do I what do you call it? Fill it in, shading and all that stuff. What happens next? What's the next step?
So what I've done here with this face is that I have firstly done an initial pencil line. When you're doing digital art, it's really cool. It's basically just pencils, and then I can just kind of flesh this character out the way I want to.
Starting to look like a bit of a Dragon Ball Z character.
Very, yeah. I was very inspired by anime. Thanks, SABC. I grew up watching Dragon Ball Z, and that was what I...
stole so many hours of my life as well. Thank you.
So that's inspired a lot of the kind of art that I do. And then you start doing your inking. So that's your penciling, and then you start doing inking. Inking is usually your outlines that you have around your character. There's a lot wrong with this picture, but we are on TV and we are kind of doing this.
Oh, I can't tell, so don't mind me.
And then once you've done the inking, you have your basic outline and shape. You start working on coloring. Okay. You don't even have to get to coloring. You might just want to leave it at the inking stage. But each of these different phases has a different skill set that requires. In the traditional comic book world, you'll have somebody that's literally a pencilist, an inker, and a colorist as separate jobs. So it'll go to different departments. But nowadays with technology, we're able to be able to do a lot of these disciplines on our own. And it's not that big a leap to go let me start coloring this.
You know what I also love about this, Grant? It's all digital. So we're being conscious about a paper that we're wasting. So you can erase right here, I'd imagine. You don't have to worry about using paper and paper
100%. And then you can also transfer this onto different different mediums. So I'm just going to quickly, we're going to just color this. And then coloring is quite a delicate process. It's actually probably one of the hardest ones. You have to work out lighting and shading and stuff. But I think throughout the duration of the show, I'll probably be doing a little bit on this
Yes,
character,
please.
and then you guys can have a look at it.
Oh, well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Grant Hines in the building, of course, and we will be doing some more tech features, some more tech updates, and you're going to want to stay with us because we've only just begun, of course. We'll see you soon.